السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معاكم بهام من قناة ستيشن فل. طبعا هذا الانترفيو راح يكون بس بالانجليزي، يعني ما في ولا ترجمة حتى بالكتابة. بس اذا بغيتم بالترجمة اكتبوا لي في الكومنتس. على الاقل ابغي 20 الى 30 كومنت يقول لي انه يبغي ترجمة حق المعرض او الانترفيو اللي توني مسويه، لانه ياخذ وقت طويل. مو وقت طويل بس ياخذ وقت يعني، فما ابغى اضيع وقتي وانتم ما تبغون تطلعون الانترفيو. بس اذا تبغون اكتبوا لي في الكومنتس وراح ان شاء الله اسويه باسرع وقت ممكن. بس اخليكم مع الانترفيو. طبعا الانترفيو بالانجليزي. لا تنسون اللايك كومنت سبسكرايب، هذا الكلام كله الحلو. وشكرا للمشاهدة. How are you?
I'm very well.
So let's start with our first question. Are we going to be upgrading our specs of, the Xbox One, or the other stuff of it, like the specs of the RAM or the other stuff? Because the specs of those, the Xbox One is not. It can't stay more than 2-3 years. Because there is much more specs right now than those consoles. So, what is it? Are we?
Well, I think the generation of gaming that we are in right now is in a state where I think it is oversimplistic to be able to quantify how powerful a console is just by looking at RAM or GPU or which graphics card is being used. Because one has to keep in mind that there are a number of factors that influence the power. Number one is what kind of a product that we are using, which you're referring to. Then how are they tweaked by our engineers for that particular device. Then the software that optimizes that particular gaming experience. And then on top of that, the power of cloud. You heard me refer to that. We have invested in 300,000 servers globally. That's more computing power than the world had in 1999. That's more computing power than any other device in the world has, or any other supercomputer has. That is all accessible to the Xbox One console. And so I think the question about processing power is a moot point, because today, in today's day and age, it is not just about the graphics capability of a particular piece of hardware, because that hardware doesn't live and exist by itself. It is dependent upon the software, the architecture, how they've been fine-tuned, and on the power of cloud and all that kind of stuff. So from that perspective, we are most certainly building Xbox One, not just for the 1 or 2 years, but for the next 10 years. We believe that this is a console that is built for the 21st century and will continue to evolve. And an example of that is with Xbox 360. We had exactly the same arguments when Xbox 360 came out. And today we have incredible games like Forza Motorsport 4 and Gears of War and what have you, with incredible graphics that continue to still surprise people. And that we've been able to achieve only because of these things that I mentioned, where we've been able to leverage through software updates, through the power of live, and how live has continuously evolved, and how we've maximized the capability of the console and the device.
Okay, do you think the Xbox One will be the leading console as what it did with the Xbox 360?
Well, I would not be able to give a commercial forecasting, so as to say, but I can talk about what are the things that really make Xbox One stand out from the competition. First and foremost, Xbox One is a gaming device, and from a gaming point of view, the games that we have, which are exclusive to Xbox One, are second to none. When you have games like Forza Motorsport 5, when you have games like Titanfall, when you have games like Destiny, when you have exclusive content on Call of Duty, on FIFA 14, on Battlefield 4, the list goes on and on and on. And these are titles that are just exclusive to Xbox One. And on top of that, the other blockbusters remain with the likes of Watch Dogs and Pro Evolution Soccer and all that kind of stuff. The gaming proposition that we've got is the strongest. I gave that illustration earlier also. In terms of the quality of the games, at E3, the Xbox One exclusives, won 106 awards. These was more awards than all the other platforms put together. That's the number of awards the Xbox One exclusives won, and that shows the quality of the game and the exclusivity of the game that we have on Xbox One. And then on top of that, if you layer in the unique capabilities like the HDMI pass-through, the social capability with Skype built in, with Kinect, which is 10 times more powerful than the previous Kinect, which has the ability and such high precision, such high fidelity that can detect your heartbeat by just looking at your capillaries in your face. It can work in complete pitch darkness. There is skeletal mapping not just for one person but for 6 people. There is not just facial recognition but speech recognition. It's an incredible piece of technology. So all of these things are unique to the Xbox One. And obviously, like I mentioned to you, the 300,000 servers that we're investing in. Xbox Live has always been something that has been a unique selling proposition and much stronger than any other offering out there, and we're investing further into that. So when you add all of those things up, Xbox One really stands head and shoulder compared to anything that is out there in the marketplace.
Are you thinking to announce stuff like Xbox One or Xbox 360, like like them, like this much of like the Xbox One? It's a huge. So are you gonna announce like these stuff in Middle East, just like when you announce things in USA, you just announce them there? This is the first announcing. Are you gonna make this or thinking to make this in Middle East?
Well, we're not going to be making Dubai or Saudi Arabia the center of the universe by making big, massive announcements for the global community. And I don't think that that is what we intend to do. What we do intend to do is make announcements that are relevant and for our own markets. And on that way, we will continue to do that today. When I sit with you over here, this is the first unveiling of Xbox One in the entire region. We will continue to bring codes for games from the future, like Forza Motorsport 5, Rise, Son of Rome, Lococycle, Killer Instinct, which is all Xbox One titles that have not yet been launched. So we will continue to invest into that and to make big announcements, but we would much rather focus on the region and for the region rather than replace other global events. That's not what our ambition is. Our ambition is to serve the market over here and to make announcements that are relevant for the market over here.
Yes, this question is not from us, but are you gonna make or is this receiver that is in the Xbox One, like the cable box, is this gonna work for Middle East or just in America?
The HDMI pass-through capability is a hardware capability, and it comes with every single console that we will sell. So every single console that we will have will have an ability of an HDMI in and an HDMI out. So any kind of content that can be relayed through an HDMI would be you would need to pass that through an Xbox One console.
Okay. Are we going to make exclusive stuff for Xbox One pre-orders in Middle East?
We haven't got a launch date, and so when we do, we will be announcing our launch plans, which will include the precise date, the price, the services, and also the launch plans, including pre-order campaign. We do intend to launch with a big bang and make the most of the fan following that we have. I don't know if you're aware about, but on GameSpot there was a Twitter competition, a global Twitter competition, and out of all the countries in the world, the maximum level of support that Xbox One got was from Saudi Arabia itself. So we are very appreciative of the support and the fan following that we have in Saudi Arabia for Xbox One, and we look forward to repaying that and to adding to that passion by announcing some big events in Saudi itself.
I want an honest answer. Are you thinking that the Xbox One is not that powerful, system, or you know, is it like really powerful, or do, you know?
Oh, completely. I think the power that it has is incredible, and it is not just limited to any particular graphic capability. You have to use first of all, like I mentioned, the way to measure power and to simplify that by one particular unit is misleading and is too simplistic. I'm sure you've been onto the blogs, I've been to them, and we all read different opinions from people as to what is the difference and all that kind of stuff. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not an engineer, and neither are these people. And although we can engage with each other on discussions around teraflops, at the end of the day, we are all gamers. And we like games that look beautiful with the highest fidelity that is possible. We want games in 1080p. We want the games that get delivered up to 4K. Can Xbox One deliver that? Oh yes, and much more. It can deliver not just that, but it can deliver the best-in-class online service. It can deliver a gaming experience that is second to none. And when you see games like Titanfall, when you see a game like Forza Motorsport 5, that just blows away the boundary of realism, it's pretty obvious that Xbox One delivers on every single front. And these discussions out there are not new. These same discussions were held on Xbox 360 also, and again we managed to surprise people again and again with the graphic capability of the device, and the reason is because people sometimes misunderstand that a singular spec of a particular hardware technology is the one that is the reason behind the graphic fidelity of a particular game. But the graphic fidelity of the game is dependent upon the development tools, the software operating system, the architecture of the device, the hardware that is used, and the online gaming capabilities and the online servers that are at its disposal, and many other factors. So it's a combination of a lot of these things, and from that front, I think with Xbox One we've got a device that is incredibly well suited for the 21st century, and not just for a couple of years, but for up to 10 to plus years.
Do you have anything to say else to Arab gamers?
Well, I mentioned that earlier to a few individuals from Saudi Arabia. I think there is something that is very unique about Arab gamers, and specifically around Saudi Arabia, which I must say. Number one, what makes the region very unique, Saudi Arabia specifically, is the demographics of the size and the huge youth population that is there. But the one thing that is most appealing to me about Saudi Arabia is the vibrant and passionate gaming culture. That is second to none, and there are very few markets that I'm aware about that have such a vibrant gaming culture. And that makes the Saudi gamers one of the most vocal, one of the most demanding, but also one of the most passionate and supportive. And we would just say, continue to drive that, continue to support us within the region, and we'll try our best to bring new devices, new games, and as early as possible to support you guys.
I forgot to say this question, and it's the last question. Are we going to bring Arabic to Xbox One?
Well, that is related to my other answer that I mentioned about that. When we envision to bring Xbox One to a particular market, we want to deliver the most optimum service for that particular region. That involves bringing in the right content, localizing that, and bringing local content, the services for that, and also the language localization on that. Now that's the vision, but we always continue to try and deliver that. At this point of time, I will not be in a position to answer categorically either yes or no, but when we get to a stage and we'll be announcing the launch date of that, at that point of time we'll be able to detail out the launch date, the pricing, and also the service level capabilities of Xbox One in that region, and then we can probably have a discussion about that.
So we will not working on that, right?
We are constantly working and evaluating different options in each and every single market that we do. That is the vision. The vision is always to localize the services and the language for that particular market. The balance that we have to find is how do we optimize the service and when do we launch the console. So we have to strike that right balance. Do we wait too long to optimize the service, or do we optimize it, or do we launch it first and then worry about the optimization? And that's the kind of balance and tough decisions we have to do, and so people are working tirelessly behind the scenes to try and make sure that we find that right balance, and hopefully we should have something exciting to share.
Yes, thank you for your interview.
Thanks a lot.
بس قبل لا اخلص الفيديو راح اقول لكم من اللي كان معي، لان في البدايه ما قلت لكم. كان معي مدير تسويق لحق اكس بوكس، فهذا عرفتونه. بس مرة ثانية لا تنسون لايك كومنت سبسكرايب، ولا تنسون تكتبون لي في الكومنت. ابغى 20 الى 30 كومنت، وان شاء الله راح احاول اني اترجم الانترفيو طبعا. بس خليكم وشكرا للمشاهدة.